Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 BMW X5 M50i with the dynamic handling package. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this X5. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. Now, under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 523 horsepower and then 553 pound-feet of torque. And then I just want to quickly mention, I love the setup under here with all of the bracing and how they made everything pretty much symmetrical with the logos and all that. You've got the carbon fiber there in the center. Just overall, a beautiful-looking engine bay. Now let's go over the front end of the X5. So first off, I love how simple the hood is. Obviously you have these indentations on either side, but other than that, pretty simplistic. Have the BMW logo. We've got the BMW LED laser headlights, which look absolutely fantastic, really sharp with the accent lighting. And then also we have parking sensors here along the front. We've got a pretty normal sized BMW grille, unlike the new M3 and M4, for example. This actually looks really good. You have a camera right there in the center. And yes, we actually have some fake venting over here, but it all looks really good. Like, this is definitely a nice, aggressive, good looking front end. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 22-inch wheels in the front, and then we've got three 15mm tires wrapped around 22-inch wheels in the back. Now, as for the design on the wheels, I think the spoke design looks really good. I love how you have the blue brake caliper with the M logo on it. I definitely think that's a nice touch. And then you've got the body painted fender flares here on the side, and then notice that we've got the little venting right there. And then the thing that's awesome about this car is as soon as you like walk up or walk away from it, it either locks or unlocks. Like just walking up to it, you can do that and then that'll unlock it. But then if I just walk away, if I get far enough away, sometimes it takes a second, but then it also locks. So I think that's a cool feature, and also that's the side view. Let's pop into the trunk area here of the X5M, and yeah, this has like the dual tailgate just like a Land Cruiser or like a Land Rover. I think that's pretty neat. We've got a bunch of floor mats back here, and then notice we've got these little tabs right here. That's what lowers down the second row. Just pull the tab like that, and then there's a whole rubber floor covering, and this even has a nice covering on it, so you could sit on this, or if you like slide stuff across it, it's not like you're gonna scratch anything because it's just plastic. But yeah, that's everything for the back. Ooh. Now let's go over the rear end of the X5. First off, I love the taillights because they just slightly come on. Just wait for it. Hopefully you guys can see that. You can tell in person, they don't just like pop on, they just like gently turn on, which is interesting. We've got our X5 badge, our M50i badge on the other side. We have a receiver hitch there at the bottom because you can tow with this. And we've got that covering over the exhaust tips. I will give you guys an exhaust clip later on. Wow, that's a wide tire. But anyways, that's everything for the back. Now let's pop here into the rear. So notice we've got this really nice leather trim at the top and then the brown leather down below. And then we've got this for the rear sunshade. And then I love the look of the speakers here for the sound system. And then notice we've got carbon fiber. Just material-wise and look-wise, this is one of the most beautiful door panels I've ever seen, to be honest. And then coming over here to the seats, we've got these full leather seats, and they definitely have a nice smell to them. I know you guys can't smell through the camera, so that's why I'm telling you. You do have your own climate zone here in the back, and then you do get heated seats on top of that. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much everything for the rear, other than, well, I'll show you guys space quickly. We're all about that legroom, right? So you guys can see the legroom here, and then notice we've got charging stuff here on the backs of the seats, and then headroom. So yeah, and it smells perfumey back here. Now here's the door panel in the front. So again, you've got all of the beautiful leather here all over the door panel itself. And then also there's a quick look at the mirror. It does have blind spot monitoring. Got your door handle right here, and then we've got our memory seat controls right there. We've got your window controls, more beautiful carbon fiber, and then again that same really nice look there on the speaker for the sound system. And then here are the seats at the front, so same beautiful design with the leather and the stitching and the perforations. There's your adjustments there on the seat, so you guys can see all of that. We've got our M50i plaque, and we've got really nice pedals here at the bottom. All of our light controls, the steering wheel adjustment, and well, there's one more look before we pop in. Now here's our steering wheel. We've got beautiful leather all around. We've got our M badge there at the bottom, and then the BMW logo in the center with a beautiful leather wrapped airbag cover. And then these are actually controls for the heads up display. Yes, there is a heads up display. Hopefully that pops up there onto the camera, and you can just use that to pop up with some radio menus basically. And then we've got all of our stuff for the cruise control, lane keep assist. I mean, it basically drives itself. That's what you need to know from a safety tech standpoint. Pretty crazy. Beautiful paddles here on the back. And then notice you got your turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock on the other side, and ooh, another speaker there for the Harman Kardon sound system. Now here's our center gauge cluster, which I think is really cool with the stylized theme on it. It's fully digital. And then, like I said, pretty much drives itself because, well, if we go over to the distance control with the adaptive cruise control, and then you've got the assisted driving, and yeah, it pretty much does everything for you. It's really good. But aside from that, we've got our different drive modes. We have our sport, and notice how it changes the gauge clutch setup. Got our comfort, and then we've got our individual, and then we have our adaptive mode. But yeah, it's pretty cool that it actually changes kind of the look and theme depending on the different drive modes that you're in. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, let's go over the camera system. So notice we have a backup camera with trajectory lines, but we also get this bird's eye view, and you can change the camera viewpoint. Basically just press the little cameras right there, and then that'll change the viewpoint that you get. Notice you actually get this animation right there, which I think looks really good. But yeah, you have viewpoints all around that you can see, and you literally have a bunch of different stuff with the camera. Like anything that you want to see camera-wise or customized with the camera, this pretty much has it. It's absolutely crazy, and it even has automatic parking. I mean, what more could you ask for from a camera system? Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, we have that little navigation screen right there. I will mention response time on it is great. Most modern cars have really responsive touchscreens. Now, I went through the infotainment system and tried to find some interesting, fun stuff, and there wasn't a whole bunch. I mean, it's pretty normal. It just shows you different bits of information on the car itself. But the thing that I did find was kind of weird is the experience. So we have these different experiences. So like, for example, if I press expressive, yes, it opens up the sunroof and it plays that tone. But then you're like, nah, I want to be in the well-being mode. And then it closes the sunroof. And then it plays that. And then we have the executive. And so, yeah, you've got those different modes aside from the drive modes. I thought that was pretty interesting, so I shared it with you guys. Beautiful carbon fiber all around the dash. We've got our climate controls right here. You've got dual zone here for the front. And then notice you got the little control there for the heated and ventilated seats. And then over here, we've got our analog controls for the radio, the presets, and then we've got more carbon fiber here. I mean, look at that. Just a mass of carbon fiber. Couple cup holders right here. You've got a USB as well, and then a wireless phone charger. And then this is where things get interesting. We have this crystal shifter. And I don't know if you guys can see there on camera. It's going to be hard to catch. There's like an X inside of the shifter. I thought that was pretty cool. And then notice we got our stability control, and then this is for the camera, so you press that and then it'll pop up with the camera view right there. Your parking sensors, your auto stop, start, and then you've got your actual engine stop start. You've got the drive modes right here, and then this is just the auto hold with the parking sensor, or sorry, parking brake rather, and then the hill descent control, and then this is just kind of like our media control for the infotainment system. If you don't want to use the touchscreen aspect, thing I want to mention, all the controls and everything feels and looks really nice. Like the buttons, the feedback. I don't know. Definitely in love with the feeling and everything. You definitely do get a very premium feel with this. Now here is the center console, and opening it up, voila! We've got a ton of storage space and another USB inside of it, and then again more of that beautiful brown leather at the top. And then look, the whole dash, all leather wrapped and stitched, and coming in the glove box, we've got nice felt-lined glove box, and even the opening for the glove box, a little opener. Definitely nice with the metallic trim on it. Well, then you guys already saw earlier, we've got the full panoramic sunroof up top and then an all black headliner. Now, if you want the most up-to-date pricing on this particular X5 M50i, then check out Land Rover and Salt Lake's inventory in the description below, but let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off here in the X5 M50i. So first off, visibility over the hood, pretty solid. There's visibility through both the mirrors. Remember, they do have blind spot. And then here's what the rest of the rear. And wow, I didn't even notice this. Look at the headrest. They're like pillows. That's really nice. But let's set off. So we are setting off here in the X5 M50i, and I have it in the adaptive mode. Something that's pretty cool is when I put my seatbelt on, then the bolsters tightened around me. You can adjust those on the seat. That was one of the seat controls, is the bolster adjustment. But starting off, how does this actually drive? First off, for being a high performance vehicle, it actually feels pretty luxurious. It feels pretty fine. It's not crazy. It's not rough on the suspension. The throttle response is perfect. And again, I've got it in the adaptive mode, so it says it's going to adapt to the driving circumstances depending on what I throw at the X5. But I mean, so far in the adaptive mode, it drives great. If I would throw it over into the comfort mode, we'll see how that kind of changes things up a little bit. And then the other thing I do want to mention is with the steering. I really like the steering feel. You actually get a little bit of feel through, which typically with most modern SUVs with the electric racks and everything, you don't. With this, you do get a little bit of steering feel, and it's definitely very direct. Like this, for an SUV, is extremely direct. So I'm going to mention this, an interesting point. It definitely has like a fragrance to it. This definitely has like that fragrant smell in the interior, and it's actually, I like it. It make, like, as soon as I get in, I'm like, it feels nice. It's different. And you know what we'll actually do is we'll pop over in a car and we'll go to experience modes, and we'll do well-being, because you know what, we just want to have a good time. But getting up and going here, I'll do kind of like partial throttle. Ooh, definitely some nice sounds. Tons of torque, tons of low-end torque. Definitely just ride on a wave of torque here with the X5. And yeah, so far, it's comfortable, it's smooth, it's quiet. It does all of the luxury SUV things that you want it to do. But I'm gonna pop it over into the sport mode. So we're in our sportier driving mode, and it's downshifting for me. That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely direct. Oh, it sounds good, and it's quick. It is, you can feel it. You can feel how quick it is. Definitely rough when you go over stuff. I started to pick this road out for the reviews, one, because that road's closed off, and two, you've got some bumpy stuff you can go over to really test out how the suspension feels. But let's get our we'll get our full-blown acceleration in a little bit. This is still gonna be kind of like partial throttle, but more of a full acceleration. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's quick with the transition, with the gear shifts, and definitely has quite a bit of power. I'll try to get you guys a better acceleration up here in a little bit, but yeah, you can definitely feel the power. Before I get that last acceleration though, let's kind of get into summing things up here with the X5. So exterior wise, I mean, it just looks like a regular BMW SUV on the exterior. I think they're good looking cars. It doesn't stand out or anything like that, but it's good looking on the outside. Interior, oh my gosh, I love it. Interior, I love the contrast between the brown and the black. It just all looks really nice. Material use is just perfect. Everything, like all the buttons and everything you touch, all feel nice with the feedback and everything. So yeah, interior wise, definitely top notch. Like, no arguing on that. And then aside from the interior, the driving, it definitely has a fun sporty side to it, but then also it has a luxury side to it, so you can do whatever you want from a driving perspective. And I think we'll be able to get an acceleration down this road right here, because we shouldn't have nearly as much traffic. And yeah, we'll pretty much just do a proper acceleration down this lane and enjoy. Well, there you go. It's fast and it sounds good. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating a little bit because I'm not used to SUVs being this exciting. This is really exciting to drive. Like, this is an enthusiast SUV, and BMW is great at building SUVs like that. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much gonna sum things up. If you want a great sporty luxury SUV, check out the X5M. It is fantastic. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, and it is. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2021 BMW X5 M50i. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover Jaguar here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this X5. Check out the inventory in the link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.